News in computer science and biology. Today we'll be having three sessions. The first session will be from Dr. Amit Kamra, professor from Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College, Ludhiana, Punjab. He will be talking about the tool for data visualizations and data optimization, which can be used for our research works in image processing, machine learning, and so on. The second session, today's second session will be by Dr. R.K. Agarwal, is professor from Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. He'll be talking about the fuzzy clustering method for segmentation of MRI images, brain images. And the last session will be by Dr. Dinesh MS. He is the senior scientist from Philips India Private Limited, Bengaluru. He'll be talking about the clinical decision support system for healthcare applications. Have a good day. Make use of all the sessions. Hope it will be interesting. I now request Ms. Nandita to introduce our resource person, Dr. Amit Kamra.
A very good morning to one and all. I have the privilege of introducing Dr. Amit Kamra, today's resource person to the August gathering. Dr. Amit Kamra is currently serving as the assistant professor in the Department of Information Technology, Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College, Ludhiana. He has a teaching experience of more than 19 years. Sir has done his BTech from PTU Jalandhar in the year 2001. And he obtained MTech in Information Technology in 2004 from Punjab University, Patiala. He has obtained his PhD in Computer Science Engineering in the area of Biomedical Imaging in 2014. Currently, he is serving as the PhD Coordinator and Institute NBA Convener at JNDEC, Ludhiana. The areas of interest include data mining, virtual reality, image processing, and other areas. Dr. Amit has received a gold medal and also a silver medal in MOOCs course organized by this Swayam NPTEL. He has received grants of more than 25 lakhs from funding agencies like AICTE, UGC, and PTU Jalandhar. He has received the Best Teacher Award by ISTE in December 2020. Dr. Amit, he is also serving as the reviewer for many journals. To name a few, Computer in Biology and Medicine, and also the Journal of Digital Imaging, both are Springer journals. He has published quality papers in journals of good repute with indexing in SCI, SCIE, and Scopus. Also, Sir has written one book of computer science. He has worked in the capacity of Assistant Registrar and Deputy Controller of Examinations. Sir has guided 31 MTech students, 2 PhD candidates, and is guiding 3 PhD scholars. We are very fortunate to have you as our resource person, sir. Now I welcome Dr. Amit Kamra to take over the session. Thank you, sir.
Very good morning to all of you. Is my voice clear? Is my voice audible? Anybody
Yes.
please acknowledge?
Sir.
Okay. Thank you, fine. Thank you, Dr. Geeta, and thank you, the other faculty member who introduced me. I forgot her name. And thank you, the MZ College Hassan, for giving me this opportunity to speak to this August gatherings. It is always a nice to speak, to deliver the lecture on a nice morning. In Punjab, there is a very cold nowadays. So we have a very foggy days nowadays. So just last week, I was having another lecture in some other FDP where I was given in the last slot, and the audience were very tired. So it became very challenging for a speaker to speak when the audience have taken a heavy lunch. And today is a nice opportunity. Thanks to Dr. Geeta for giving the first lecture of the day. In fact, some other pioneer people in this FDP are giving lecture. Dr. R.K. Agarwal, I used to refer his paper also because when I was doing my PhD, I have good friends at IIT Delhi, and I used to visit a lot of times at IIT Delhi to get some images and some. We used to attend many FDPs during that time in the year 2011 and 12. So I have gone through the schedule of your FDP, and really the ma'am has arranged the very nice persons who are very intellectual. One thing I just want to tell you something about this Atal courses. In fact, I also got a grant from the AICT Atal program, and I also organized one course in November 2020. See, whenever such courses are organized by any institution, or whether they are given as a grant to some coordinator, it becomes our moral duty. See, you are spending your 90 minutes with me, or you are spending your complete 5 days with the other speakers. So it becomes your moral duty to try to learn from those people. Uh, the learning doesn't matter, is that we are not learning for ourselves only, because we, most of the my friends in this FDP might be teachers from the educational background. So it becomes a moral duty, at least first we learn, and then we impart that knowledge to our stakeholder. Who are our stakeholder? Our students. So the ultimate aim of the AICT in providing such grant is to increase the employability of our stakeholders by training the teachers or the researchers. So it is a good platform, and I have attended many FDPs, and some of our FDPs are very useful one. And this during this COVID-19 has given us another opportunity to learn, because the learning never stops. In fact, most of you people might be from the computer science people, from the computer science and IT background, and I think it becomes a big challenge for the computer science and IT people, because our software keeps on changing, our programming language keeps on changing. So we used to learn new things every time. In fact, in my PhD, I use MATLAB for my complete coding purpose. But Orange was a very new tool for me. So earlier, when I discussed with ma'am about my some other topic, I thought that topic was a bit a theoretical one and research oriented. And when I look at the schedule of the ma'am's FDP, which ma'am shared with me a few days back, I just thought to have some practical hands-on session which can be more useful to the my friends who are attending this FDP. So Orange is a very good tool. This tool is not only for image processing. This tool is for image processing, for bioinformatics, for machine learning, for data mining. You name any area, and the answer will be Orange. So let's start today Orange. I will be shifting to the demo also meantime, and I have also taken the snapshots when I practiced to make this PPT. So it will be a good thing if you can practice with me, or if you just want to see the demo with me, then it's also fine, because the slides, in all the slides, I have added the images and the steps which are very necessary. Okay, although this tool is a very big tool, but I will try to cover some important significant components, so that you may not later feel any problem in its more understanding. So the name of the topic is data visualization and data optimization, or using Orange. See, when I was doing my PhD, I always used to get some comments when we send some paper to a good journal, that the paper must contain graphical analysis and results and tables.
Excuse me, sir. Can I interrupt you?
Yeah, ma'am.
Sir, please turn on your camera, sir.
Okay. 1 second. Is it fine? Okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So whenever we send some good research paper to some a journal like Computers in Biology and Medicine, Journal of Digital Imaging, I used to get a number of comments when I was doing my PhD. So one thing I got was one of the common comments by the reviewer was that the paper or a research paper, the chances of acceptance become higher when you publish the paper with more number of tables, more number of graphical analysis and results. So I took that experience in my mind, and this tool is the answer for those things. So almost every area of research require visualization and optimization of data. See, whatever the field is, either it is image processing or machine learning or bioinformatics, say any area of the computer science, we have some data and we need to visualize those data. In fact, in my PhD report, I remember I added only one type of plot. My area was architect. I will discuss later on what was my area. But the thing is, I plainly admit all those things. What are my mistakes and which I did my PhD, or what are the limitations which I feel. My report was consisting of around 20 to 25 tables, but the graphs or the physical or the visual distributions were very less in my report. So we need certain tools that can bring out the difficulty from doing this above task and makes this process bit easier one. See, there is a one common psychology in all human beings. If all of we are from the computers background, we don't love coding. Coding is not a cup of tea for every person. Even if Dr. Geeta is the head of the department, he is heading say 20 to 25% the department. I assume ma'am might be knowing which person is good in coding and which person is good in design and which person is good in networking. So coding is the bit not of cup of tea for everyone, and not everyone is willing to learn this coding. So in such cases, this graphical user interfaces tool becomes handy. So today we will discuss a tool called Orange, although it's the name of a fruit, but it's not actually fruit, it's an open source tool. This tool is a great for the beginners who want to visualize pattern and optimize them and without knowing how to code them. So at some point of time, you must be thinking that we are doing data mining. At some point of time, you might be thinking we are doing machine learning. At some point of time, you might be thinking we are doing image processing. So this is a we can say combination of all those things. You might have studied MATLAB, and it is similar to MATLAB, but in MATLAB you have to write the M files and you have to write the script files and create the fig files. But here nothing has to be done as such. Please, somebody's mic is on. Can you mute it? So the word orange give the first impression that it is a fruit. I will be starting the demo part in the coming slides, so don't worry. So I'm talking of a tool called Orange, which is basically an open source tool. This is the icon of that tool. It provides data visualization and data optimization capabilities for the new user as well as the expert user. Basically, it is developed in Python also. There is a graphical user interface, which I'm going to discuss, and there is a command line interface also available for Orange. So if you are an expert user in Python, then it is your cup of tea, is Orange also. So what basically is Orange we are going to discuss. Orange is an open source component, and I feel many of the participants might not be working in only in computers and biology area. They are working in data visualization. So whatever data you have in your hands, either related to image processing or bioinformatics or data mining or machine learning or data analysis, this Orange is a you can say one complete solution for all those things. We will be discussing certain small components of Orange. That components are called widgets. When I was showing you the interface part, there are around 100 widgets of Orange. Widgets are just like tools, okay, of any device. What we can do with widgets, I will be showing all those things in the demo part. Widgets will be used for simple data visualization. Widgets will be used for subset selection. Widget will be used for pre-processing. Widgets will be used for practical learning of a learning algorithm. Widget will be used for predictive modeling. You can see here, I have mentioned around 5 applications of widget, and these all 5 applications corresponds to different areas of research. Pre-processing is related to image processing. Predictive modeling is something related to feature extraction and feature selection. Practical evaluation of learning algorithm is concerned with machine learning. And subset selection in sample data visualization is related to some graphical analysis. So basically, just like in a C++ or Java, we do the coding. Here we will not be doing the coding. Rather, we will be creating a term called workflow, and how the process will occur when one widget is connected to the another widget. The only good thing which you need is the domain knowledge of your the research area, which I hope you might be having. See, if you are working in machine learning, you must be knowing the machine learning algorithm. If you have a good knowledge of image processing, if you are working on image processing tool, then you need the knowledge of image processing. And if you're working on a bioinformatics, which is not my area of domain, so please don't ask any question related to bioinformatics because it is not my research area. In fact, I will just show the bioinformatics tool also. So whatever area of research you are working, you must have complete knowledge of that area. Then only the Orange will be a handy tool. Okay. The good part of the Orange is that it is open source. You don't need to spend a single penny for this. This tool is undoubtedly a boon for the people who are doing PhD or masters in the area of CSE and IT. Basically, there are a number of algorithms available, inbuilt algorithms available here. I will showing some demo of some algorithm also today. You just have to fine tune those algorithms. Now, what do you mean by fine tuning the algorithm? Suppose if you're using k-means algorithm, then you must be knowing what is the value of the k. If you're using AdaBoost classifier, you must know have the classification process. If you're using support vector machine, then you must know how many values to train and how many to classify, which type of kernels you require. SVM has 3 type of kernels. One is a name is a linear, and I forgot the other 2 names. So the other thing which I want to say that the proper machine learning algorithm or proper terminology of that concept which you are using in Orange you should be very well aware of those things. Okay. The tool is not just meant for computer programming. In fact, anyone working in electrical engineering or any control system can also use this. It is just like simply installing a game. In fact, you will find out when I will be showing you the demo in between. We will be just doing some. It resembles as if we are playing a game. So only the thing which you should know the image processing or bioinformatics or machine learning or data mining concepts, because each widget is correspond to that specific domain only. Okay, so it is your duty or it is your intelligence. You should know which algorithm is suitable to your particular scenario. I will be showing you some examples of data mining, some examples of image processing. In fact, I will be showing you how you can do the COVID-19 analysis also. So the major examples which I have taken in this presentation are related to the biology part only, because that was the theme of this FDP, computers and biology, that how computers can be used in the analysis of biology. See, biology is a very crucial subject nowadays because it is related to our health only. And it is a common saying, if health is lost, then something is lost. But nowadays, I mean, if health is lost, then majority of the thing is lost now, because COVID-19 has shown us that nothing is important, only health is important for us. In fact, you might be surprised, the IIT Delhi has introduced the biology as a subject in first year. And we at our GNE, Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College, we are an autonomous institution, and we were established in 1956. And in fact, we have added this biology subject in our also board of studies, and we are also going to add this subject. Somebody please mute the mic. Okay, the thing is that the biology is a very important subject. That's why the AICTE has added this as a thrust area. So in this tool will be we will be using the Orange in the various applications of biology today. You will see the certain example related to heart, certain example related to breast cancer detection, and some general examples also. Basically, it is a smart tool. Just a brief introduction I'm giving, because all those things will be discussed in the demo part. You will definitely fall in love with this tool, because the good thing about this tool is that it tells you whenever you are going to make a connection between the widget, whenever you're going to create the workflow in the widget, one widget is connected to another widget, and if the widgets are wrong or they are incompatible, the connection will not happen. The Orange will show dotted lines, and your process will not run. So it is in a way boon to all people that if you are not using the proper algorithm or doing something wrong, the Orange will identify it, and it will not give the ID output. So there are no chances of getting any wrong output. In fact, you can get the inaccurate output, but the wrong workflow will not be created. Okay. So these are installation steps. If somebody is sitting on a laptop, it will just take 2-3 minutes. Although I have shared the link with Dr. Geeta a few days back. So I hope if someone is installed with me, you can work with me. Whatever things I'm going to practice now, you can have a demo with me, or otherwise you can have some later on installation also. So this is a website from which you can download the Orange. But please be sure there are a number of versions available. This was the latest version, 3.3.27. In fact, when I first started learning Orange in the 2018, I have been working on Orange in the last 2-3 years now. So that time the version was 3.3.4. So you can imagine at least 23 versions have been updated. And the important thing is that you must be very well aware that which type of operating system you are using. Orange is also available in 32-bit version, and it's also in the 64-bit version. So my PC was 64-bit, and this is a link for 64-bit PC. If somebody is having a 64-bit Windows, so he or she can install it. And the Linux and the other operating system compatible versions are also available in this link. Okay. See, whenever you go to download the Orange, you will get some basic tools installed in the Orange. Orange, in fact, never provided the toolbox related to image processing. The name of tool called Image Analytics, or it doesn't have the tool related to bioinformatics by default. So you have to install it, and I assume whenever you install it, certain errors occur. Errors might be related to your operating system or some Orange backend issue. So Orange is now trying to take care of all those things, and they have provided one help also. So whenever you install that additional widgets, you will get some error. It may happen, or you may not get if your machine is fully updated, but it might happen due to some operating system compatibility issues. Some errors may occur, and this is the one of the file you need to install. Just download it from Google, libbz2.dll. We don't need to worry about this file. This is just a DLL file, and you have to copy this file in the Windows directory, and then you can install the additional widgets. I will show you how to install the additional widgets. So we are shifting to the Orange interface. Anybody, all of you can see this interface? I've just opened it because it opening take 1 minute, so I've already opened it with the prior. Let me minimize it. This is the, just 1 second. This is the Orange symbol. Geeta ma'am, can you see this symbol? Orange.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you. This is the Orange widgets. This is the data widget. When you scroll down, these are called visualized widget, model, evaluate. This is the image analytics which I've installed a few days back because the theme of the FDP was related to biology, so I added this. Now, how to add on some additional widgets? You have to go to options. You have to go on add-ons. We are not just started. We'll go okay. It is going to retrieve the packages available here and just let it be download. So see, you can see here, these are bioinformatics. Somebody is working on educational data mining process. This is the geo and remote sensing toolbox. Image analytics I've already installed. Somebody is working on computer networks. Somebody is working on genes prototype. Somebody is working on this bioinformatics analysis of single cell data. Although there are a number of tools related to bioinformatics, so I assume if any of the participant is working in protein and nucleic acid and that bioinformatics domain, so this tool is a wonderful tool for those people also. So initially I have installed image analytics tool. Let it cancel it. We come back to the presentation. So this is the way how we can add on the, you have to click on the add-on and then you can install it. So this is whenever you want to install bioinformatics, you have to click here and it will start installing. And after installing, you have to restart it and then you can start working on that tool. But the thing is, which you need, you must have a complete understanding of the bioinformatics widgets. There are widgets related to genes, proteins, nucleic acids. I hope if somebody is from that domain, he or she might be very familiar with these widgets, these terms also. So let's see. Please, somebody's mic is on. Please mute yourself. So let's see now. We have covered the theoretical part now. So directly we are now starting the practical part. So if somebody is sitting with me, he or she can also practice now. So whenever you start a Orange, you will always find a welcome screen here. Although I have skipped the welcome screen here. This is the interface. I'm just showing how the welcome screen will look here. We will see the welcome screen. We can exit that welcome screen by having a pop-up menu. Now Orange start with the blank canvas. This is the canvas part. You can see here. Let me minimize it. This is called the canvas. Can anybody see? I'm dragging something. Please, somebody keeps on acknowledging in between the lecture. It's not
Yes, sir.
mandatory. Okay, so this is the canvas part. We used to do drawing when we were kids. So that was called canvas. We might have you might have younger children at home, and you provide them drawing book, and that page of the drawing book is called canvas. So similar thing we have here. We are going to do drawing here, but the drawing is here technical drawing. You must be knowing the all those components which are being going to be used in your drawing. Okay. This is a welcome screen. You have to click on show at the startup. Okay, I have skipped this step because this is not going to come in again. So there is a tutorial also available here. There is a documentation also available here. So after today's lecture, with this next 1.5 hour, you will get a rough idea of all those things working, and by looking at this tutorial, you can be fully expert in Orange in a span of 2 weeks only. So this tool is really going to help, because whenever you're going to publish your paper, you need to add some graphical results, visual analysis, or you need to do data optimization with number of classifiers. See, in my PhD, I used two feature extraction method. One was called stepwise regression, and the other was called principal component analysis. And for classification, I use support vector machines with 3 types of kernels. Frankly speaking, I use only one classifier and 2 feature selection techniques. In the feature extraction models, I used only 5. So this Orange will is going to provide a number of opportunities by working on different classifiers. The only thing is you must have that complete knowledge. First, you have some data. You do some pre-processing, and you get your data. You design your algorithm, and after when you get your data, the other step is the data optimization. Somebody's mic is on. Please mute yourself. Geeta ma'am, please see here. Somebody's please mute the yourself. So this is the okay. This is the welcome screen. Welcome to the Orange. We are going to start now the demo part. These are called when you click on the data. Can somebody see here? This is called file, data set, SQL table, data table, pane data, data info. Somebody please acknowledge. These all are called okay. These all are called widgets. Okay. Can I know the name of person who's acknowledging in between me?
Nandita.
Okay, Nandita, please keep on acknowledging in between. Okay, whenever you ask something. Okay, and these are the Nandita. Also, somebody is talking in between. Please request. Geeta ma'am is not here.
Yes, sir. Yes. I'll do that.
Archana.
I know there are some allied duties my friends might be doing, but let's not disturb others, because this on this platform even a minor noise will be disturbing other. So this is the tree viewer, box plot, distribution, scatter plot, line plot, bar plot, sieve diagram. Now see here, there are around 12 and 14, 18 types of diagrams. And in fact, in my PhD, I only plotted box plot. So if you get some data and your research supervisor or your mentor asks you to have some graphical analysis, you can provide at least 18 type of analysis. But the thing is that you must know which type of analysis is significant for your work, and you might also be having that knowledge of that graph, that how the graph is going to analyze your results. So it is not a mandatory to use all those things, but the thing is that this tool has given us an additional option, that how you can visualize those data in a different graphical analysis formats. Now come let's down here. This is a model. This is a model is called KNN classifier, the trees classifier, random forest classifier, SVM. Very popular classifier. The linear regression, logistic regression, naive Bayes. All of you might remember all these things. These are popular machine learning algorithms. Let's come next. This is evaluate. This is a cross-validation concept, prediction, confusion metric, ROC. In fact, during my PhD, when the final results in any sort of research work, say I consider the example of image processing because that is my cup of domain. See, whenever we do any algorithm in image processing, the final results is we need to plot ROC curve, we need to have confusion metrics, we need to find out the true positive, true negative, false positive, false negative, and that area under curve and that precision and F score, harmonic mean. There are a number of parameters which you need to find out, and then you need to compare with some existing algorithm. Then only your work is validated. So these are the different evaluation methods available in this tool. And the good thing is that you don't need to do coding of how to plot the confusion matrix or how to do the ROC analysis. In fact, MATLAB has some coding concept which you need to perform, then only you can get the ROC curve or ROC analysis. See, I'm not a supporter or I'm not objecting using coding part because, but the thing is that we always want to do smart work, and when something is already available, why to spend energy on coding of all those things? Do spend energy on the algorithm part, and this is the data optimization part will become very easy for you. So because maximum time we are going to do all those things in our research work, and when some handy tool comes in our hand where the already available codes will be going to use, so it doesn't create a big impact when your report is going to be published or when you are going to submit your research paper, because this thing has already been done. So it is better to avoid spending energy in all those things which is already being done. This is the unsupervised classifiers, hierarchical clustering, k-means. I, in fact, I also don't know these methods, Lobbian clustering, distance measure. This orange is a big software, so it keeps on hanging in between because we are sending the data to this on the other mode. So let's come back to the presentation part. So we're going to discuss the ingredients of the orange today. See, whenever we're going to make a vegetable, we have some secret ingredients. हम पंजाब में गोइंग टू स्पीक इन नेटिव लैंग्वेज ऑल्सो इन बिटवीन. पंजाब में एक सब्जी होती है जिसे छोले भटूरे बोलते हैं. यू माय साउथ इंडियन फ्रेंड्स माइट बी नोइंग इट. तो छोले भटूरे जो बनाते हैं उसमें जो चने की सब्जी बनाई जाती है, इट हैज नंबर ऑफ इंग्रेडिएंट्स, देन ओनली इट बिकम्स ए टेस्टी वन. So the orange also has a number of ingredients. So the widgets are the secret ingredients of the orange, but you must know that which widget is used for your work. Okay. So widgets are going to read the data, they're going to process the data, they're going to visualize the data. Widgets are going to do clustering. I will be doing clustering also in between. Widgets are going to use build the predictive modeling. Data mining bhi karenge hum saath saath, and you can do a number of actions based on whatever the widgets you are choosing here. Okay, we're going to start the demo part now in between. So the most important widget for the data analysis is called this file widget. I'm just showing that practically. One second. Here. I'm going to the data. Is this file widget? Nandita, is it widget visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Just one second. रविंद्र मैडम मेरे लेक्चर चल रहे हैं, मैं तुम 11:30 कॉल करता हूँ. ठीक है, ठीक, ओके. Nandita, this is a file widget. We have to just see here. Most of the data analysis will occur with the file widget only, and you have to click on the file widget. It will appear in the canvas. Just clicking on this widget, it will click on the canvas. And second thing is this data table. Just clicking on this widget, you have to connect this file to the data table. Okay. Then click on the data table. This is the COVID-19 data. You can see here, it has not been updated. Means whichever country is updating this data, Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria. You can scroll down. We find the maximum number of cases in US and China. So they are the number of cases being reporting here because they are updating this software. I will tell you later on how to get this data. Okay, you can see here number is this maximum was when the COVID was initially occurred. So it occurred in many provinces of China. So this was the database created by the researchers. So how to select this data? You have to click on file. Nandita, you can see here, this is a hard disease tab written here. This is a file.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is a URL. I have clicked on this URL. This is the COVID-19 database. The good thing about Orange is that it can directly fetch the data from the internet also. You have to give the address of any URL corresponding to that database, and then it will fetch it. But yeah, for here we are, since our theme is biology based, I will try to take the examples related to the heart disease. I click on the heart disease, and this is the some data which I'm getting: age, numeric feature, gender, category, chest pain. See here, I'm getting this data, and let's see this how this data looks here. First, we say that this is the herd data of 303 instances, 303 people, I can say, where there are having 13 features. Generally, whenever we do some research work in biology area, we do feature extraction and feature selection. So this is this sort of data we are getting here. This has been already created in the Orange. So this is a already created data. You can see here age, gender, chest pain, rest, SBP, static blood pressure, cholesterol. This is blood sugar. This is the ECG. I don't know what is this MHR. This is exercise induced angina. This is this ST by exercise, or you can see some number of parameters, because we all are from the biology domain, so we are not very accustomed to all those things. So this is just I want to show that how the data looks in the Orange here. Okay. We're doing nothing with the data. I'm just showing that how you can visualize this data. Okay. So most of this data occur on the file widget. Simply we can load the data set by just clicking on the file and connect the data table. Now see, I'm doing something wild here now. I'm going to drag it and delete it. Now I'm connecting data. Now I'm connecting file. Now see here, Nandita, can you see here? I'm trying to connect data table to the file.
Yes.
But it is not being connected. So I already explained one of the feature. Can somebody tell me, apart from Nandita, what I'm going to show here? Anybody please keep on acknowledging, otherwise it become a monotonous lecture from one.
If we don't connect it properly,
Yeah.
I mean, the widgets, it doesn't get connected.
Exactly, ma'am, thank you. It is a smart tool. I've just told in one of my slide that you need just get back to that slide where I mentioned here. Although it provides dotted line also, and I will show dotted lines also. And if you are not using proper algorithm, then it will not allow you to connect the data. Okay, so this is the important thing. You need to make the right connection. So data, we have to connect the file widget with the data table. And although this is a very small example, there are a number of cases when you are going to connect classifier also. So Orange will automatically identify which classifier is suited for which your algorithm. I will be showing you 2-3 examples in this between, and after the lecture you can try and practice and applying different classifier also. Then you will find out that different classifiers are not compatible with different types of database. So we don't need to spend any energy or time or to understand why this is not being connected. You just find out the reason that why it is not connected, while the other coding part of the result part will be done by the Orange itself. So we're going to now work on this herd data. Let's see the herd data again.
And will this support all kinds of data formats, sir?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm coming to that. It will support CSV. It will support image database. It will support XLS. It support tab.tab. Okay, 4 images can be supported. If you get the images, then it is very easy to get CSV and XLS file. XLS, CSV, .tab and the images file. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, okay. Now click on the file here. You're getting the name, type, role, and values here. Nandita, can you find something relevant to your research? Is it this some relevant? I'm talking Nandita again.
Yes, it's relevant, sir.
Nandita, this is not relevant. Do you understand a bit of Hindi, Nandita?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm calling Nandita in between because I'm not going to able. In fact, other speakers can also speak in between. Please keep on asking questions. Otherwise, I'm thinking I'm speaking alone only. So it is just for the sake of calling someone. I'm asked Nandita's name. Nandita, ऐसा है कि name, type, role or values हैं. This is just a small data. We are not getting the feature descriptors. I suppose Nandita, you are from the computers background.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nandita, आप कंप्यूटर बैकग्राउंड से हैं, तो इन कंप्यूटर्स we need the image feature descriptors. So this data is just a you can say some simple data which is doing nothing here. ठीक है, ये डेटा हमारे काम का नहीं है. वी आर गेटिंग ओनली, हमने क्या करना है न्यूमेरिक और उसके टाइप से फीचर तो कुछ हमें मिल नहीं रही है. वी आर गेटिंग वैल्यूज ओनली, वी आर गेटिंग द नेम चेस्ट. तो हम आगे जाकर इसका वी विल बी डूइंग फर्दर एनालिसिस, वी विल बी एक्सट्रैक्टिंग द मेटा डेटा अगेन. ठीक है, डेटा में से और डेटा निकालेंगे. ठीक है, सी somebody is working in image processing. जब आप इमेज लेते हैं, whenever you consider that image को हम रीड करते हैं, whenever after reading the image we apply some algorithm related to enhancement, we perform some segmentation, we perform some detection, and after that we perform the feature extraction. So what basically is a feature extraction according to computer on that image? Feature extractions are just numbers. Either it is entropy, or it is energy, or it is inverse diverse moment, or it is homogeneous, something whichever you can say the Haralick textures model, or you can say the some other, you can say some any other feature extraction model. Say name it.
Vapor features, fractal features.
Yeah, fractal feature, ma'am. Fractal feature there are two types of fractal features, I suppose, H1 and H2, and inverse difference moment. There are a number of features models which are available, but ultimately at the end of the system, what we are getting numbers. नंदिता, हमें सिर्फ numbers मिलते हैं वहां पर. So this data is not a big use of for us. Okay, so we'll discuss during the forthcoming session what we can do here. So this is a HER-DISYS data set. When we open this data set, we click on the data table, and it will, on double clicking the data, it will give the details of this. So what we have done, we have just to visualize this data, we have make a connection of the file with the data. This is just a drawing. We are drawing कर रहे हैं हम भाई, ठीक है, और कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं. But the answer is technical drawing. So on opening this data, there are a number of rows and columns which you can see here. Okay. चलिए आगे चलते हैं. Now you have to click on file, click here. The orange become better slow here. Now click here on scatter plot here. This is the scatter plot. So this is a fantastic thing which we are getting here. We are getting a plot between the rest BP and cholesterol. You can click here, you will get a cholesterol versus cholesterol, the same thing. I'm sorry. This is the cholesterol versus the MXR. HR is some other parameter. Don't worry about these parameters. These are the just biological features which we easily can have a good idea from some biology teacher or from good biology book. But since we all are computer engineers, so we are not from the medical domain. So our area, our research work which we are doing is to assist the radiologist in providing some second opinion. See, so this graphical visual analysis, whenever you get some data, you can have some this sort of graph. This is called a scatter plot, and you can readily paste in your PhD thesis or your research paper, and you will get some feeling of the visual analysis. The examiner will feel impressed कि student ने graph बनाया. The student has created some small graph in his report, so he will get impressed. So Orange is going to do all this task for you. This is scatter plot. Don't worry about कि scatter plot दिखाता क्या है. Scatter plot is going to just a distribution दिखा रहा है with one with another. Now it is up to you if you find suitable that whether scatter plot is useful for your research work or not work. तो आप उसे लगा सकते हैं. Otherwise you can avoid it. Let's see something else also now. This is a scatter plot. You can see see, these are the types of plots which you can create in Orange: box plot, sieve diagram, scatter plot, Venn diagram, distribution. So depending upon the requirement in your research work, you can select the type of the plot which is suitable for your data. In fact, I was telling in the start of my lecture, I use blocks plot because box plot is something related to feature extraction and feature selection. So this will give a graphical distribution to your data set, and it will definitely have a significant impact when you add such unique plots in your research papers. Many of the examiners, I am a reviewer of some 2-3 Springer journals, and I never find any sort of diagrams in any research paper unless only the Venn diagrams and distribution diagram are generally available in these papers. So if you find any suitable diagram related to your research work, which you can first plot it, and then you can visually do its analysis. See, a student of class 8th also can plot the diagram on the Orange. But the difference between a class 8 student and a researcher is that researcher is going to do the analysis of that graph. मैं अपने मेरी I have a daughter studying in 7th, and if I guide her how to make a graph in Orange, she can readily make it. But she don't know what is box plot, what is sieve diagram, उसके अंदर उसका analysis क्या है. This thing is the task of a researcher. तो ये आपको करना पड़ेगा. Okay. So this thing which I was telling here, this whole process is called workflow. Just in a similar to the C++ or Java, we used to say कि हम code we are writing the code only. So here we are creating the workflow. So this term is called workflow. So we will again doing something now again here. We have open the data set. This when we open this data set, see here, we clicking on this data table. We have 303 instances, we have 13 features, we have target with 2 values, and here the result is going to, we want to identify whether the herd is healthy or not. Okay, in this database, this is if somebody is working on classification of the herd diseases, I assume this is going to be a very good advantage for him because he has got the databases of 303 persons. And only he need to do some validation by getting the real-time database from some hospital where he has to get these parameters values, and then his research work is a very good, he can have a very good progress of his research work. We'll do something else now. We have some another plot here. We go to the distribution plots. Click on the distributions. Now this is a wonderful thing. This is going to show the frequency and cholesterol, something chest pain, how much, this is the number of the years persons were getting this thing. This is a chest pain, this is the blood sugar level, this is the rest ECG. So by clicking on this, this sort of graph you're getting here. Now, if you plot such graph in your PhD thesis or report, this will create a good impact. Because one thing I found in scatter plot was that it was a bit messy one. You can compare here again. Scatter plot is, this is scatter plot. This is a messy one. All the things are overlapped here. And this is a, you can delete it. This is distribution plot. We have a very good results here. Okay. So if you are getting some missed values, the data means whenever you have a data table, please try to find out the missing values or give some optimal value to the missing columns also. Otherwise, they will create the wrong results. Or do one thing, remove those entries tables whose values are being missed one. So this is another sort of distribution which you can have it. So now, depending on your research work, you can have a scatter plot, distribution plot, line plot, box plot, pre-processing, paint data, something different. Okay. Sorry. So these are the types of the plots which you can have in your work: box plot, sieve diagram, scatter plot, Venn diagram, and distribution. In distribution plot, you can see here whichever the variable you have selected here, and you can see the output in a different manner. So this will create a very good impact. See, what happened during the graphical analysis, we plot something between one axis here and other axis on the y-axis or x-axis or y-axis, whatever it be. So if you, generally we have to save those data in the Excel, and then we have to create that plot. So your task become very easy. If you have the XLS file or .csv file, just click on the whatever graph you require, and it doesn't matter that you need only distribution plot. Try to have a sieve diagram, try to have a box diagram, and find out how it is suitable for your for your research work. Then you can definitely add it. Now see scatter plot again of the same data set. Just want to show something again. So when we visualize a scatter plot, it is a bit messy one. The classes are not very well separate. So what we can do here, we can create a subset selection. Let's plot the scatter plot again. This is a scatter plot. Nandita, can you see here? This is the subset selection which I'm doing.
Yes, sir. Yes.
One of the feature initially I told in the introduction of the Orange was that we can do subset selection. It got overlapped. Subset selection, and now connect it with another scatter plot. See here, it's a wonderful thing. This is called the overlapping of the two classes. We can avoid it. And if you want to see the data here, you can connect it with the data table, and then the data table will be available only of the selected classes. Okay. This, sorry, we have already seen here. This is a scatter plot. So the classes were not very well separate in the earlier diagram. So we can select the overlapping classes also. We can plot one another plot just to distinguish the. We can see we want to remove the redundant classes which are being overlapping, but just to have a clarity that how many classes are actually overlapping with each other, you can have a visual analysis. See here, this red are overlapping, this red are overlapping, this are very close one, and some are already having a gap between each other. So this is just a fictitious database, but sometimes it happens you need to remove the redundant values. So just you can find out which are the nearby ones, which are getting the far ones. So in a way, it will help you to do the proper subset selection also. I'm not going into the details of the feature selection because that is not our domain here. This is another, I've shown the slide also. I've done parallel between. So you can have a, this is the complete workflow. So what happened in Orange, you apply some change in some widget, we apply some changes in the scatter plot, and that then we're going to visualize another scatter plot. So changes in one widget are immediately propagated to the workflow. So please make sure whenever you're connecting one widget to another widget, the change get immediately propagated. It doesn't remain stationary. So how can you add widgets in Orange? I'm just telling again practically. Let's remove it. Either you click here or okay, or you make a connection between the widget. This is the process, or you can say have a left click, or you can drag it. Okay, either clicking it or dragging it or through left click. All these things are possible. But the good thing is that the Orange will not allow you to connect the incompatible widgets. So if you find out that this space is less one, go on to view and deselect this, expand tool deck, your canvas will increase. Nandita, can you see here? This is the our drawing space has been increased. Okay.
It's not reflecting, sir.
No, see once again, click on view.
Yeah.
Visible, sir. Visible,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. This is the way, just a small thing, how you can increase the widget space, because sometimes in bigger algorithms, a bigger workspace is required. Sometimes the algorithms, you need to have a comparative analysis of various classifier. You want to show the complete steps of the step 1 to step 10. So you need a lot of connections in between. For that purpose, the answer is this the deselection option. Let's come back again. You can also tell the Orange that what kind of data can be sent from one widget to another. Now let's come back to the third data set again. Okay, let's see here. Now we have a file widget, we have the data table, we have the scatter plot. This already we have done here. Okay, so I'm not going to repeat it again. Now connect the data table with the scatter plot. Idea is that I will select that some instances in the data table. These instances will be highlighted in the scatter plot. I'm just going to show all those things which I've done already here. So open the data table and select some instances. What happened? We have the file, we have the data table, we have the scatter plot. And when you plot the scatter plot, just select those things, these things, crop it and select it. And when you're going to see the data table also get highlighted. This is the highlighted instances in the data table. You can practice it later on also. So what will happen? Just see here, file, data table, and we have a scatter plot. And just select something. Okay. Make a connection of data table. Now see here, Nandita, can you see here? This is the dotted line.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dotted line means the complete data is not selected here. Just click on this dotted line. This is another visual browser created here. Okay, so this is a viewing a data. This is the data about another data, but the dotted line shows we have selected the partial data only. So if you click, right now it's not, we're going to click here, we have to cancel it. So this is, I want to show you something here. This is called another visual browser, which you can see here. let me refer in the theory part here. So we have just created a visual browser here, and we have to double click on this link, put in the data in the data table. What I want to say here, the orange correctly guessed that data from the data table is not the complete data, rather it is the visual partially data. So that's where the line becomes a dotted line. So if you have to find out that which part of the data is being overlapping, and in a similar fashion, you can select that data also. Because by looking at that data table of around 13 features, it is not practically feasible. This is called the, you can see, remove those parameters which are overlapping with each other. Now see, just I'm canceling here, click here. It's not selected one, suppose. I tried yesterday also. Okay. I suppose the instances you can try later on. I forgot how this was being done. But the thing is that this 39 to 52 features which are being overlapping now, these features are redundant features and you can remove these features. This is the thing which I want to explain here. Okay, you can try it later on. It will work definitely. So we have just created a visual browser. We have to double click on the link between the data table and the scatter plot. So Orange will guess it that it is not the actual data, rather it is a subset of the data. So these dark red instances show the selected instances. This is a not the highlighted part which was seen in the data. So another thing is that if you want to save this data, if you find this widget useful for you, you can save it for some later purpose. The extension name is OWS. Okay, the answer is OWS. I'm not saving here. So the data is stable. Basically, Orange support Excel as ma'am was asking in the initial morning that which type of extension it support. It support XLS, tab, and .csv. Okay. So, Nandita, are you a teacher or a researcher? I beg your pardon if you're a professor.
Yeah. Both, sir. Researcher as well as a teacher.
Achha. Nandita, which area you are working?
Image processing.
Okay, good one. What is the exact field, Nandita?
Mine is a clinical decision support system for oral lesion detection.
Which detection?
Oral cancer detection.
और पंजाबी में बोलते हैं मुंह वाला कैंसर, माउथ वाला.
Yeah, yes sir, mouth cancer.
Mouth cancer. Nandita, what sort of data you require there?
Images, sir. I'm making use of images, photographic images.
You're capturing some images of those patient जिनका we generally watch movies ना, movies में वो ad आती है कि धूम्रपान करने से उनको गले का कैंसर या मुंह का, वही चीजें. ठीक है. So Nandita, have you ever felt do you need some sort of data in which there are only two parameters x and y? Say, do you visit to your mentor someday? अब जो गाइड आपका कहता है कि हमें I want some मुझे ऐसा डेटा पे काम करो जिसमें दो ही एक्सिस हों, x और y एक्सिस हों, या बेसिकली डेटा क्या होता है, नंबर्स होते हैं. ठीक है. डेटा इज जस्ट नंबर्स. इमेजेस जो आप लोगे, यू यूजिंग मैटलैब नाउ, मैटलैब यूज कर रहे हैं.
हाँ, यस सर.
तो आप क्या करोगे, आई एम रीड करके इमेज का मैट्रिक्स बना लोगे. मैट्रिक्स के बाद आप शायद यू विल बी एनहांसिंग दोस इमेजेस और यू विल बी डूइंग सम ROA सिलेक्शन ऑफ दोस कैंसर पार्ट, and after that you will be doing that feature extraction and then you will be doing feature selection. यही करोगे काम सारा.
Yes, exactly sir.
चलिए, मैंने आपका PhD thesis पढ़ लिया अब आपका सारा. So basically your task is not a big deal. The big deal is that I suppose you are facing the issue of the oral cancer वाली database की आपको बहुत दिक्कत आती होगी मेरे ख्याल से.
Because, yes.
In the later down मैं आपको बताऊंगा. I did my PhD in mammographic images. There are 3 types of cancers in mammogram. One is called masses, other is called microcalcification, and third is called architecture distortion. If you Google it and find out, architectural distortion is a very subtle abnormality, and there is a very less database available of architecture distortion. So I sent one of my paper to Journal of Digital Imaging way back in 2013. When I sent the paper, we got 30 comments from that reviewer, and out of 30 comments, 29 were a very nice one. which any researcher can readily reply. The 30th answer was that Mr. Kamra, he referred to my paper, the researcher, the reviewer, that your work is good, but you have not done the clinical validation yet. So it was a nightmare for me, Nandita, because for clinical validation, I required the actual images of those women who were suffering from architecture distortion. And in Ludhiana, although it is a very big city, it is a metro city, but we have only 2 to 3 hospitals which are doing mammography, and they are not going to help me. I used to visit them. Luckily, I found some radiologist friend of mine who was a classmate, who was a senior in my school. He referred to some other hospital, and I got those images of clinical validation of 40 women in a span of 2 months. Finally, when I used to visit the doctor, so the biggest thing which I faced in my PhD was that to getting the real images of the women who were suffering from architecture distortion, because you have to visit doctor, you have to first influence them, then you get the data, then you have to verify on your algorithms. And I got an optimal accuracy, although on the net, in the images from the net, I got a 97%, 91% result, and those from the clinical evaluation, I got the 87% result. But the thing which I want to just conclude from this story is that in our country we face a lot of problems in getting the real data. Okay, and sometimes it also happen we don't get the relevant data from the net also. Some of my friends are working in some domains where the database are not available from the net, because the guide tell you to work on 300 to 400 images samples, because in PhD, say for in MTech, it doesn't matter, you work on 30, 40, 50 images, but in PhD, first you have to work on 500 to 600 images on a bigger database, and then you have to clinically validate it. So there is something which Orange can provide you a fictitious data also. So let's see some small magic in Orange here. I'm going to do painting now. Please everybody see here. I'm not very good. I'm very poor in drawing. I got only 24 marks in engineering drawing when I was in BTech. So I'm a very poor by drawing, but this is a technical drawing and I'm very good in this drawing. I click on this point called paint data. I'm going to plot something randomly. Nandita, can you see? I'm just clicking on my mouse here. Please somebody tell others name also. I'm constantly disturbing Nandita. Okay. Dr. Geeta, please don't mind if I'm not calling your name. Okay. And anybody else. Okay. So this is Nandita. I have plotted the paint data. All of the participants, please see here. This is the paint data, and now I'm going to connect this paint data with the data table. Connection was wrong. I suppose the connection was wrong here. Let me see here. What I will practice yesterday was okay, paint data with the data table. Okay, see the magic here. Nandita, can you see here? These are XLY. This is the data we have created here. So we have plotted 102 instances with 2 features only. Now, if you are working on suppose 2 variable data in your research work, and you already know that the value of the image which is a good for result is less than 1. That means it varies from 0 to 1, those values, or you can see it's in the decimal format. You can readily have this paint data widget. So आपको एक ना, you have got the 102 variable का data मिल गया, save कर लो. You can save it in XLS or in the tab format. But the limitation is that right now the model which is available in Orange supports only 2 variables. The developers on the Orange, I have already mailed them that we need some other data where we can add more variables, because see, we have some data में होता क्या है, just numbers ही होते हैं और कुछ नहीं होता, nothing else. तो आपको एक फिक्टिशियस डेटा बनाने की जरूरत नहीं है, आपके पास एक डेटाबेस आप क्रिएट कर सकते हैं जिसकी वैल्यू 0 से लेकर 1 के बीच में वेरी करेगी, एंड देन यू कैन यूज दिस डेटा फॉर योर रिसर्च वर्क आल्सो. This is another way the magic can be done in Orange. So the only limitation is that the initially Orange is only providing the two variable data. Okay, so if some of my friend is working on some variables whose value ranges between 0 to 1, he can get any number of instance data here. Just keep on clicking on the paint data widget, तो आपको 400 500 बड़े से बड़ा आप database create कर सकते हैं. So this is the magic in Orange we can do here. I would skip the theory part which I have written there. So other is the pre-processing. Pre-processing, many of you are doing image processing, तो pre-processing हम अक्सर करते हैं. Pre-processing is just to show to provide the normalization जिसे बोला जाता है. We have histogram equalization in image processing. Histogram equalization क्या करता है? It does pre-processing of the images. So similar thing will happen in widgets also. But have you ever seen that we can plot those, have some plot also for pre-processing? Can somebody tell me, somebody from the participant tell me, is somebody using histogram equalization in his pre-processing or in normalization purpose, or somebody has done doing normalization? Nandita, have you used normalization in your research work?
Yes, sir, I have used it.
Have you ever, what did you do in normalization? Can somebody else please speak it? If somebody is doing an image processing work, has somebody done work on normalization? So what happened in normalization? Can somebody speak, or else I will tell something which I want to say? Okay.
So it's not related to image processing, but then data set, whatever I have, I'm trying to normalize. I mean, if the data range is very wide, I'll try to make it in terms of 0 to 1.
Exactly, ma'am. Ma'am, what's your name? I'm not skipping. Pardon, ma'am?
Jaisuda, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am has rightly said, ma'am, you have saved my energy for the next 2-3 slides. Thank you, ma'am. So what, ma'am, is it possible, can you plot those range? Madam has just said she wants the data in the range of 0 to say 2. Some data is ranging in the higher domain, some whose value is in 3000, 2000, 4000, and the other value is which we are going to normalize in 2, 4, 6. I mean, there is a very huge difference between those two things. Just see here, example here, we have some name of the persons. I have just created fictitious data here. The persons employed are 13, 30. This is the number of years employed, how many years they have worked here, and this is the yearly income. 42,000, 36,000, 41,000, 33,000. So this is a huge difference between the years employed and the yearly income. Okay. So just see here what I want to see here. Through this Orange, it is possible to visualize those normalized results. Jayashree ma'am, is it? I want to tell you something very nice, which can really help if you are a professor or a researcher. We can see in this case, we want to find out how many persons are going on a holiday based on their years employed and based on their yearly income, based on their experience in the industry. Now, see here, yearly income, this is the value which is a very higher value, and years employed and experience in industry, this is a very small value. Just please hold on 1 second. Haan Raman ji. हाँ पाइए आ गई मैं क्लास ले रहा हूँ 11 बजे करता कितने ले जाओ मेरे को आके चिट्ठी भेज दो किसी ने ऑफिस बैठा मेरे ऑफिस बैठा हार्ड कॉपी ये थोड़े सिर कोई सेंट आइटम देख लो मैं 11 बजे करता था बहुत दूर चिट्ठी मेरे को पाइए आप मेरे को बड़ी अमन भेज दो मेरे को क्लास लगी है पीजी ब्लॉक से ठीक है ओके I'm sorry, there was some urgent call from the principal office. So what I'm saying, Nandita, is my voice audible?
Yes, sir, it's audible.
Okay. See here the number of years employed is a small number, while the yearly income is a very high one. So just as a few minutes before, Jayashree ma'am has said we want normalization. So although normalization is possible, but if somehow can you visualize those normalized results, it will be fantastic one. So the answer is another plot here. That plot is called heat map. I'm not going to do the coding here. I'm going to leave it for you, but just see the difference between those two, that how heat map is done. So we can normalize this numerical data variables. We want to know which employees are more likely to go on holiday, and there is some criteria fixed that based on the yearly income, yearly employed in the company, and total years of experience in the industry. So what we are going to plot here, we are going to plot a heat map here. Heat map will be normalizing your results. So if any of my friend is doing normalization होने के बाद आप अपने रिजल्ट को विजुअली दिखाना चाहते हैं, if you want to show your result visually, the answer is heat map in the orange. Just see here, heat map क्या करता है? This is just a fictional data. This is the 1 and 46,000. You can see the value range here, 1 to 46,000, and this is the normalized result, minus 1.97 to 1.68. You enter the table, you just enter the database in the orange, where there is a huge difference between these one and the other two values, where one value is very higher one, the other value is very smaller one. So, and just apply the heat map to it. Heat map will do the normalization. Just see the difference between the two graphs here. This is a non-normalization, this is a normalized data. See the difference between the blue strip and the light blue strip and the yellow strip. And now they are very the smaller difference here. Okay, so this is a way to normalize the data. Normalization means sara ke sara data we want to keep, because it is the initial step of pre-processing. We want to normalize the data, but this is another unique feature, how to visualize the normalized data. Histogram equalization is another graphical distribution, but in apart to the histogram equalization, you can also have the heat map now. I assume I have never seen any research paper where any person has plotted the heat map for the normalized results. Most of the people do the work only through the histogram equalization. Okay, let's do something image processing through Orange now. Please bear with me for the next 30 minutes because I'm going to do now very good case studies now. We are going to transform the images into number now. See, whenever we do some research work in image processing or bioinformatics, we have to deal with some data. Now, the data can be shapes, size, spreadsheet, or text, any data. It can be audio, it can be video, or it can be image. कुछ भी हो सकता है. First, you need to install that image analytics widget. I earlier told this is the image analytics widget. Let me close this data now because we have already have some small hands on this all things. Let's skip this. Let's do something research part now. Now click on image analytics. This is the image analytics tool. Import image, image viewer, image embedding, image grid. These are the 5 widgets here. What we're going to do now. Let's start with a small example here now. I have collected some small images of the domestic animals, some 4 to 5 images. I suppose I have collected 6 images. I have just written 5 here. Just see the, and I have loaded on my desktop in, okay. And I'm going to see how the images can be seen here. We have to click on import image. It is just going to initialize. It takes 1 to 2 seconds to initialize. Okay. You have to click on image, import images. You have to click on browse. You have to click on the animal images, or you can load directly from here also, where the images are stored in some folder here. Okay. I have animal images. There are 6 images of animal. And click on the image viewer, just as similar to we read the images in MATLAB. Have a connection with the image, import images to image viewer, and just click on the image viewer. Jashri ma'am, can you see here? These are the 6 images: calf, yes, dog, duckling, hen, milka, Mika, and turkey. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I've given link also where you can download these images for if you are going to practice it later. So the first thing is to import the images by the import images widget. I just click on the image and just click on the import images widgets now. Okay. Just see once again here. Let's check these images. What we will do here, we will connect it to the data table. Let's connect import images to the data table. And Nandita, is the database fine? We are getting the
yes.
calf.
Yes.
Answer is again no. ठीक है?
Sir, I didn't get your question. I thought
My question,
whether the
question.
data table is visible.
Okay, sorry. My question was whether the data in the data table is fine for some analysis.
For analysis, it's not fine.
Yeah, thank you. So because we are just getting the size, width, and height, we are not getting the features of the image. See,
Yes.
what we are going to do now, we have extracted some images of the domestic animals. Now, what we are going to do, this is just a small data. Now, the next part is, the things are not easy at seeing, but you have seen the data table. Data table just have some useless description like file name, location of the file size. This is nothing a big deal. The data retrieval will help in nothing this for data optimization and classification. We need some image descriptors. We need some mathematical values called features. We need some numbers that describe the content of these images. So we are going to transform this raw image into vectors representation using some neural network now. All of you might be knowing neural networks. See, neural networks are the deep neural networks. These are trained on millions of the real life images, and they are going to extract the vectors from these images. Now, the retrieved vectors are also called image embedding. So what we are going to do now, there is another widget called image embedding widget. We will connect the import images to the image embedding. See, I'm just going to show practically how it's happened. Just here, we are going to connect the import. Where is the image embedding feature? Image analytics. We have the image embedding. Click on the image embedding. Let it be initialized. Sometimes it gets slowed down because we are working on a real-time system now. That's why it's have some time lag. Okay, it's fine. Click on the image embedding. It got some value 0 to 100%. Now see here. It has asked for an embedder, and please read in detail about Inception v3. This is related to the these all components are related to the neural networks, but by default my topic was not neural networks, so I have selected one default value, Inception v3. Okay, just for a timing, what image embedding is doing, it is going to convert those raw image into some useful numeric descriptors. Okay. Now the next thing is what we want. Earlier, just click on the click on the data table now. We have the data table again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Something wrong is being done. You have to connect image embedding to the data table. I'm sorry, something this. Nandita, you can see here. This is now see here. Is it visible?
Yes,
Just remember. Now see here. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
It happened during when we are going to practice something. So sometimes some errors occur. Now see here, the fantastic thing is happening here. We have converted. We have got that raw data also. We have got some numeric vectors also. Just keep on scrolling here. You will get tired by saying 2048. It starts from 0. So we have got a 6 answer. We have got 2048 features. Okay. So this is a unique data which we have got after image embedding here. So this is what is called feature extraction. So this is in image processing also we apply some methods. So by default we have applied the Inception v3 image embedding technique. You can study later on what is the Inception v3 process. So with the embedding widget we can compare the images and compute their similarity now. Now the next step is what we are going to do. We have convert those images into small vectors now. Okay. And what we are going to do now, we will connect the image embedding with another widget called distance. It will just find out where is the distance widget. Somebody please assist me to find out the distance widget. I will tell you what does it mean in visualize or in evaluate or in model. to find out the distance widget. Can somebody see distance widget?
This is in unsupervised.
Okay, okay. Thank you. This is the distance widget. Thank you. Now connect image embedding with the distance widget. This is another type of feature, distance measure, Euclidean distance measure. You can study later on, because earlier in the lecture I told we will be doing practice on number of things, and this is Euclidean distance measure. You study what is Euclidean distance measure. Now we are going to apply hierarchical clustering here. So see here, where is hierarchical clustering? I just want to see the symbol of hierarchical clustering in my PPT. This is the symbol of the hierarchical clustering. Okay, please assist me to find out hierarchical clustering.
Again, unsupervised.
Okay,
It's on the left side, second one.
yeah, okay. Just click on hierarchical clustering. So this is a fantastic diagram called dendrogram. You might have never heard this name. This is called dendrogram. And what is dendrogram is doing? It is doing clustering. It is combining 1 and 5 together, 2 and 4 together, 3 and 6 and together. Based on the features, it have now classified. इकट्ठे कर दिए those animals who are having same features. Now see here, what were 1 and 5? Just come back to our diagram. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 क्या था? 1 is calf, is also a guy. Mikha is also a cow. And here it is combined 2 and 4. Dog and hen. Duckling and turkey are of the same family, and dog and hen might have some similarity. So we can say it has accurately classified calf and milkha and duckling and turkey. So if your database could have been a very big one, so it might have done a very good classification. So that's why it was not able to identify the hen and the dog in the same category, because we already don't have the hen and have some more features of hen and dog. And what you can do now, you add your sample, say any other animal in this database, and then apply your algorithm. Then you can find out if your classifier, or if your method, or if your Euclidean distance technique is going to identify the unknown sample correctly. That means your algorithm is correct. If it's not going to identify correctly, that means there is something missing here. Now this is called the feature selection and feature classification. So basically this diagram is called dendrogram. Just please hold on. हाँ जी रामन जी, मैं 5 मिनट तक आना क्लास लेके 178 178 नीतीश विहार डुगरी 178 नीतीश विहार डुगरी आना कोई. Okay, Nandita, yours fine. This is dendrogram. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So what we have done, we have clubbed 1 and 5 together, 2 and 4 clubbed together, and 3 and 5 are clubbed together. So just bring the unknown sample and the hard work will be done. So image analytics is a very exciting tool, you can see here. Now let's see one more case study. Just another 10 minutes for me. Now we will take the example of another useful diagram, useful database called detailed database for screening mammography. I have collected a number of images, but just to show the diagram here, I have collected only 20 samples in my folder. We have two sets of images of architecture distortion. What happened in architecture distortion? The surrounding tissue appears to pull inward. There is no definite mass is visible. Thus, focal retraction and distortion of the normal oriented texture. These are the features of the architecture distortion. So what I've done, I have created one folder of the mammogram with two images. One of the benign category, benign is the normal one, malignant is the cancer one. So I have stored in the folder called a mammogram. So let's see how it's happened. We are doing something image processing now on the real images. This is the images of the actual women which I have got from one hospital in Ludhiana. I can just show here, but for the biology component, I have just named them. Let me delete it. Okay, I'm going to image analytics tool again. Import image. I'm going to read the mammograms now. So this is a reading the mammogram. Okay, going to the image viewer. I'm going to show us I have selected the already ROIs now. So see here, Nandita, can you see here? Benign, benign, benign. These are the ROI samples, malignant. This is what your people are doing in your PhD. You find the image and then you extract the ROI. Okay. This is the, now we are going to create same workflow on these images also, but the difference will be the technique will be now different now. Okay. Just checking the diagram now again. We import the images, image viewer, we have image embedding, we have the data table, and we get the, again the number of features we are getting here now. Now by creating this workflow, okay, the next step is that we will be using cross validation now. We will be applying test and score widget to the image embedding widget. Come back to the orange now. This is the evaluate part. We have to apply this widget, test and score. Please try yourself this workflow because I'm sharing the slides also. And the classifier used will be ADA Boost classifier. I already know that for mammographic images, the ADA Boost classifier is a good choice. Hierarchical clustering will not work on these DICOM images. So it is your intelligence to now to test which classifier fits to which type of images, or you can have a practice on orange and then find out which is something good for you. And for the test and score validation, it will ask how many validation do you require. You have to enter the number of validations. So just see here. This is a workflow. Import image, data table, image embedding. Image embedding, you have to connect with the test and score. The test and score will be connected with this. This is called ADA Boost classifier, ADA Boost classifier. ADA Boost classifier is also available as a widget. It will ask the number of validation. I deliberately added here the 10 here. You can add any number of cross validation, 3, 4, 5, 6, because you have to do the practices, and you will find out here. We are getting the area under curve. You are getting the CA. You are getting the this precision, recall, and F score. Although this value is only 50% because I have just taken 20 samples for the and see here the training set is 60% means out of 20 samples you can say 14 samples were used for training and 6 samples were used for testing, and system was also able to identify only the 50%. Now what could be wrong here? Either your ROI selection was wrong, or your algorithm was wrong, or your enhancement was not done properly. So this is the reason. But the good thing is that the Orange has done this, all those cross validation, all those classification for you people in a very simple fashion, for which you have to spend a lot of time on MATLAB or doing some coding. Although I am not I don't want you to make lethargic by avoiding coding, but it is also a second option for you. Okay. This conclude this problem. So in image processing, the main task is to apply your proposed algorithm to get the enhanced images. Then further, these enhanced ROI images are, you can have their tabular format. Although I just show that this Orange can extract features, in fact, you have your own feature extraction, which you have applied for your ROI, and then you create the table for those feature extracted, and then you apply this classification. Nandita, are you getting my point?
Yes, sir. I'm getting.
You are getting. You have applied you have got the ROIs, and then you applied your feature selection, and then you got the table. You got the XLS value, and then just read the XLS value to the Orange and try to apply number of classifiers. आप जिस क्लासिफायर पे आपका रिजल्ट अच्छा आ गया, बस उसको फ्रीज कर दीजिए, वो आपका रिजल्ट बन गया. Then you start comparing with the other algorithms. So your hard work, आप अपने hard work तो करना है, but we are doing smart work now. ठीक है?
Yes.
These tools are going to make us much more smarter now. Okay. So this is a small assignment for you. Image classification using Orange करके देखिएगा. Prediction of pneumonia from chest X-ray. What I'm giving a problem here. The problem is to classify or diagnose that patient is having pneumonia or not. But you have to find out the images yourself. You have to classify it. You have to create a workflow. You have to choose a prediction model. You have to do the cross validation. You have to predict the accuracy. Okay. This is a small task. It will take 30 minutes to do this thing. This is another homework for you. This is COVID-19 data. You can also explore the COVID-19 data. COVID-19 data is a very common term nowadays. So just here you can get the data from this link. You can get the real-time data also. Just click here. Go to the file. Go to the file and just click on this URL. I've also given the URL also. Just see here. This is the latitude, longitude of this is the COVID-19 data. Just I shown in the starting also. Country name is also coming here. Just have a click on the data table. Click here in data table. This is the COVID-19 data. Afghanistan, Albania, how many cases were reported. This data keeps on updating. See, you can see here the China, Shanghai. I don't know which university is updating it, but I just got the link which I was sharing with you people. This is a link from the data. And something now I'm going to last few minutes, which I'm going to tell is some important databases which are really useful for the medical imaging processing research scholar or my friends who are guiding PhD scholars. They are not getting the data because this database I have guided around 31 MTech theses, and I found we face a lot of problem in getting the real actual data. But slowly and steadily, all the theses were of different areas, although they were biomedical imaging only, but the applications were different. So these are some databases which I want to discuss with you. These databases are of two types: benchmark and the manually created hospitals. And for hospitals, you have to do a tie-up with the university, of your university with some reputed hospital in your city. In our Ludhiana, my college has a tie-up with one of the very famous radiologist hospital in Ludhiana. It's called Mayo Imaging Diagnostic Center. We used to get images from MRI, fMRI, mammography, X-ray, anytime which we required. Okay. These are mammography database, DDSM. Let's see here. This is a mammography database. The DDSM for screening mammography, DDSM. If somebody is working on mammography, this is a database which you can get from the University of Aachen, Germany. There is a professor called Dr. Thomas Deserno. You have to send a letterhead on your institution letterhead, and you have to tell him that you are going to use this database for your research purpose. Then he will provide a remote login of all those samples which are available on the DDSM. You just have to acknowledge whenever your research paper is published that this database is from the Dr. Thomas Deserno. I have got this database from Dr. Thomas Deserno in my PhD work. MAS is a very popular database. This database contains 322 images in MLO view, and the number of samples are very good here. In breast database, this is a medical breast database because my area was on mammography, so I have a good knowledge of these databases. Another database, DOCUS DEMS, it contains 485 cases. Another IRMA database, mammography patches of DDSM LPG datasets. This is another wonderful thing. I have covered around 5 to 6 biomedical related theses also, biometrics. So these are databases related to iris, fingerprint, face, palm print, multispectral, handwriting, signature. And this another good thing. I have given you assignment also today, a small assignment. You people can practice later on, but you will get the images of X-ray from here only. VI-cornell.edu.dataset, the lung image dataset, the computer tomographic images. These results are just for the initial purpose, but for the validation, you need the real hospital database. See, we are not the doctors. We are going to just assist the radiologist. So we need to create those algorithms that can provide them a second opinion. Okay. The retinopathy database, drive digital retinal images for vessel extraction data sets. This is somebody is working on the protein reference database, HPRD. It's a very database of where around 75 laboratories has contributed in providing 50,000 human proteins. So if somebody is working on bioinformatics, this is a data set for the research purpose, which is already available in the Orange itself. Orange has created a repository on GitHub. So this github.com.nixie.orange.treemaster.orange datasets. So this completes my lecture. I was given 90 minutes and I completed the lecture in 95 minutes. I have discussed Orange today. We have discussed some good widgets. We have discussed some good case studies, which especially related to the image processing and biology area, and some good sources of databases, which can be useful if somebody is working in those domains. And thanks for listening. If anybody want to ask something, I'm here. Thank you. Dr. Geeta, it's offer from my side.
Okay, sir. If there are any questions from the participants, you are open to ask them.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir, is there principal component analysis also can be done in this? Sir?
Yeah, ma'am. But Punjabi में बोलते हैं बड़े आराम से है उसमें. You can try it. PCA is very easily available.
Okay.
Madam, you just name any type of classifier, any type of model. It is readily available in this Orange. The only thing is you first do the enhancement part, first do the pre-processing part, get the feature extracted, and leave the classification to the orange. Don't need to spend your time and energy on the classification and the optimization part. Okay.
Yes. Sir, and you suggest any databases for ventricular fibrillation detection, sir? Cardiac arrhythmias.
Right now, no, man. I will definitely find it because I gave some lecture a few days back also in some other in Jaipur also. That participant asked about a protein database, so I found out this database from one of my friend who has done in bioinformatics. I will definitely reply to Dr. Geeta. Can you name the name of database? I will just find out.
It is
Because I have some
cardiac
good friend.
Yes, sir. Cardiac database working on a particular problem called ventricular fibrillation, sir.
I may get it because we have some biomedical assistive team we have a WhatsApp group of biomedical persons who work in these domains. So definitely I will get some online repository also.
Yes, sir.
Cardiac
Thank you, sir.
diabetic. Okay.
Yes, sir. Cardiac disorder. It is a ventricular arrhythmia, sir. Basically,
Yeah, I got it.
ventricular fibrillation.
Okay. I got it, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
I just have a question that whether we can apply these logical regression or linear regression methods using this particular tool.
Yeah, definitely, ma'am. I just told also the previous participant, you just name the feature extraction or feature selection technique. I suppose around 100 techniques are there, but please avoid downloading the previous versions. Logistic regression is there. I suppose I have missed using logistic regression. In fact, logistic regression is right now quite quite older technique nowadays. So avoid use those techniques which have got getting obsolete or whose results has been already verified. Try to always use some new classifier and new selection techniques. Logistic regression I have used in 2014, so I suppose it's quite popular now. So you will not find some good comparative results if you're using logistic regression. This is just my viewpoint.
Thank you. Thank you for introducing to the new tool. We really enjoyed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. It's really a boon to all of us now to start with Orange. You have given a very good tool for us, sir, to start.
I hope might have done some justice to the participant and they might have enjoyed this lecture. Early in the start of the lecture, there were only 10 participants and now seeing there are around 85 participants. And I hope all might have enjoyed, and because this is our duty whenever we give some lecture and the people are spending their crucial time with me. So it becomes a responsibility on the side of speaker to entertain them technically.
Okay, if there are no questions,
thank you, ma'am.
I think I can thank sir for enlightening us regarding this tool, which is a very useful tool for data visualization and also data optimization. As many of us have been working in these areas, I think I should have got in touch with sir quite earlier so that my work would have been reduced to a greater extent. So I have gone through many such tools in MATLAB also, but sir told in detail, in a very detailed way, how the Orange tool can be used for data normalization, feature extraction, subset selection. All the concepts are very well explained by sir. And these features, I think in MATLAB, they're not available. Only we can classify different models based on features, but for that the feature set has to be constructed and given as input. But the Orange tool is very good in that aspect, and we really like to thank you for directing us towards this tool, sir. Thank you so much. And on behalf of Malnad College of Engineering, on behalf of Computer Science and Engineering Department, I would like to thank you very much for being our resource person and enlightening us in this regard, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Geeta. It was a very nice, and thank you all the participants for sparing your time with me. We'll see some other day. Let's have this COVID-19 be over and we meet someday in an offline mode. Okay, thank you, Geeta ma'am. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the informative session. Everyone, I have enjoyed your session.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you again. Yeah. Participants will meet back at 11:30 sharp. Thank you.